How you doing, guys? I'm Fastidious. Welcome to my channel. So, the raid development team has released a lot of information to us over the past 2 days. Yesterday, we got this What's Next in Raid video, which basically laid out a roadmap on what we can expect coming content-wise over the next few months. Then this morning, we got an official leak of the new Shadowkin faction members and their kits. And finally, we also just got this new Countess Lix guaranteed summoning event. I think we all have thoughts on this. I know I do. So let's get to it.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
Now, the big drop of content-related news came yesterday morning in the Raid Shadow Legends What's Next in Raid Episode 2 video. A lot of content creators have shared their thoughts. I wanted to take a night to sleep on it, and then I thought I'd hop on right now, watch it with you guys, and we can talk it through. I can give my comments and opinions. So without further ado, let's hop it.
Hey everybody, it's been a while since we published our first What's Next in Raid video, and pretty much everything we covered in that video is live.
So this is a great place to pause it. I think I'll skip ahead a bit because this guy with the cool voice tends to drag along a decent bit. But here you can see like the 5 pillars or whatever as they're laying it out of improvements and developments to come. So we get clan improvements, very vague. Clan versus clan tournament, very exciting, but you know, there are pros and cons to it. Then we have the new faction. This is the Shadowkin faction. More content, even vaguer. And then quality of life stuff, which is actually pretty cool. I'm excited for you guys to see it. So I'm just gonna jump ahead here. This clan improvement plans is no specifics here. I'll just hop in at this point.
Things to do together, and more challenges for you and your clan mates to overcome.
Basically, he's just talking us through the company's desire, the developer's desire to have more ways of us interacting with our clan and doing content with them to beat other clans and so on. The real juicy part starts here, the clan versus clan tournament.
Clan versus clan tournaments. You know how tournaments go. You do in-game activities, you earn points, you win things. That's pretty much the same thing in clan v clan tournaments, but...
So he really spelled it out for us there when he says, that's pretty much the same thing. It really is pretty much the same thing. The one difference being in a normal tournament, let's say a dragon tournament, my dragon runs contribute to one individual, me, on my account, and the progress. So the points I earn are to this singular entity. The only change here is there's going to be many sources of content to earn points in, whether it's dragon, ice golem, arena, whatever, but the contribution will go to a pool. So not just for you, the individual, but for your clan, the entity as a whole.
Scaled up. This means much bigger prizes and a much bigger list of objectives to complete. So you can work together with your clan, play to each member's strengths, and win as much as possible. But here's the big...
Quickly, sorry to keep pausing. I just want to show the rewards. The rewards are really cool. So, 6-star gear. I mean, not the best set in the world, but I'm assuming it will be not more than just an offense set. We got chickens, 3-star and 4-star. We got an ancient shard, a void shard. You can see down here just a little bit, we got some superior potions that we get from the keeps. There's a little hint of a sacred shard down there. Lots of nice little things, books. These are rewards anyone would love to have. We'll see in what quantity we can win each of them, but I think it will all depend on your success and honestly how much your clan is willing to exert literal energy in the game, but also energy outside of it, and how much you're willing to exert a quantity out of your wallet, shall we say. Different kind of energy.
Tournament against another clan. It's 2 clans competing against each other to see who can get their hands on the biggest prizes, as well as the bragging rights. With clans being such an important part of the game, this is one of our first steps to building a little friendly competition. So
here you can see it's basically a tug of war kind of thing. You're getting points in either direction, and one clan or the other is tugging the other in such a way to earn more rewards for your clan and take away rewards from the clan against which you're competing.
Taking clan rankings beyond a simple global leaderboard. It's important for us to get the matchmaking system right for this. So for the first inaugural CVC tournament, clan matchups, meaning which clan fights which.
So here you can see that I was saying before, like we're going to be able to earn points across many different kinds of content. So it won't just be a clan versus clan dragon tournament. You'll have things like dragon, ice golem, fire knight, minotaur. But look, they cap it at a limit. So you're going to max out at some point. So I think this is where they're saying you can kind of divide and conquer your efforts among your clan mates. So maybe you are great at Ice Golem, but I'm in your clan and I'm great at Fire Knight. We will focus on our strengths. And it's a way, because I think it's very interesting that you have a limit in points that can be achieved from each area within the tournament.
Will be based on each clan's positions in the global rankings. That way you won't run into a top 10 powerhouse clan if it's your second week in raid. After that first tournament, matchups will be decided based on how well each clan has performed in previous CVC tournaments. Now,
So yeah, the initial pairings, like the first time you're head-to-head with another clan, they're going to try to make it fair. I'm assuming in terms of like age of the clan and also, you know, the relative powers of every clan member. But after that point, you're going to be moving up and down rankings dependent on performance that week and there so forth. Which is really nice if you're a nice young clan. You don't want to be pitted against an absolute whale pod or whatever those guys call it.
Clan thing we're working on. We also want to bring inter-clan PvP battles to raid. We don't know what form that's going to take or how it's going to look, but we're looking into a few concepts. So don't worry. We haven't dumped full clan member versus clan member battles in favor of tournaments. We want both. For now, let's move on to the reason you want to play clan versus tournaments in the first place. Rewards. There's a lot to win here. First, you get rewards for reaching certain point milestones during the tournament.
Okay, so this is a more realistic depiction of the rewards we're going to get. Obviously, you're not going to get that giant loot box with all that fun stuff. It's going to be, you're going to, you know, chip away at them as a clan. I think this is going to take a while, guys. I can't imagine you're moving up that many milestones at a time. Hold on, let's listen. Let's see exactly what he says.
One in the clan gets whatever reward is assigned to that milestone. Simple. Speaking of points.
Okay, so the milestones actually don't apply to like your ranking within other clans, but that performance within a singular tournament. So I don't know how realistic this 300,000 points is, but perhaps it is. I mean, the fact that it's only an epic book, it's not like 10 legendary books and a bunch of sacred shards, it makes it seem like it likely will be in reach if you have a successful performance as a clan in the tournament.
This is where things get interesting. As you might expect, the clan that earns the most points wins the tournament, but the difference in points will also affect the outcome. See this progress bar over here? It will go back and forth as the clans compete, and the more points you beat the other clan by, the better your...
So right there's a perfect depiction of this, the tug-of-war nature of these clan wars. As you earn, you taketh away, as you might say, from the enemy clan.
Rewards. Of course, you winning also means the other clan loses, meaning no extra rewards for them, so don't expect it to be easy. And if all that's not enough, the winning clan will get a permanent CVC trophy on their clan info page forever. The more wins you get, the more trophies your clan gets, and the more objectively awesome it is. There are also some very special rewards on offer from Clan v Clan tournaments in the form of 2 new types of accessories. First, Blood Shield. Blood Shield accessories will give your champion a shield.
All right, I'll pause it here while we see it, but these accessory sets are wild. I'm hoping they're really hard to get, and it's going to take many tournaments because if like more powerful clans can get these right off the bat, that could be pretty unfortunate. Like, look at this. We'll give the wearer, who's ever using these accessories, a shield worth 5% of damage dealt after attacking. But this can be stacked 3 times. If you have the ring, the amulet, and the banner, we're talking a 15% shield based upon damage dealt. He's about to say it doesn't count moves based on enemy max HP or poisons, but still, like, this is pretty overpowered.
To 5% of the damage they deal after they attack, giving your squishy damage dealers a big boost in the survival department. And like always, you can equip up to 3 of them for an even bigger shield. Now, they won't give you a shield based on poison damage or from masteries that deal damage based on the enemy's max HP, because that would be super broken. But Blood Shield accessories are still very strong. Second, reaction accessories. They give the wearer a 20...
So I want to talk about this one, but I always think it's funny when you hear like this guy and his voice talking about all these silly things like your squishy champions. Oh, this set is broken. Like there's no way this dude plays raid. But it's cool to hear him, I guess, use the lingo. Anyway, let's see about these reaction accessories. 5% chance of changing any incoming critical hits into normal hits when they get attacked before their first turn in every round. This makes them a great fit for slower champions who are in danger of being nuked out of the game before they get their turn. 3 reaction accessories means 75% chance critical hits will feel... So here again, what looks like maybe a reasonable set, once you triple it, that's pretty wild. Like, again, very overpowered. I'm not going to call it broken yet, but basically, you have a 3 out of 4 chance to turn any crit into a normal hit. And based on how this is going to be a very common set in Arena. That's going to be the main use for it. So if you think of like the big nukers, if you think of the Trundas of the world, characters like this, I mean, they're built all around crit and crit damage. And yeah, obviously this is going to mitigate it in a huge way. But I will say it's only the first turn of each round. So in Arena, it's only the first go round. but it will change the way people make their team comps dramatically once people are able to build full sets of this, because you can't just plan on an immediate cleave, you know, one big hit, two big hits from a nuker or two, and the battle's over, because only 25% of the time those hits are actually going to be crits. And if they're not crits, I'd be very surprised if in later game arena they're actually taking down an entire enemy team.
Feel like a tiny scratch, making them perfect to counter those speedy nukers. Teamwork makes the dream work, and it'll also pave the way to some awesome goodies, so get your clan ready.
So I think this looks promising here in that you can only win 4 at a time. You can see two of these are from the, what is this? This is the reaction set, the glowing red ones, and then this is the blood shield. So it will take time, and I'm assuming these will have to correspond to specific factions, which will take even more time. Maybe not, maybe they're wild cards, but I mean, it will be nice if there are a few months or at least several weeks it takes for people to build out these sets and really farm them, because they're going to really change the game in a lot of ways, especially the PvP meta.
For now, let's move on to the next thing on the agenda, champions. There's no lack of awesome new champions in Raid Shadow Legends, but what about a whole new faction? Meet the Shadowkin. These mysterious warriors from the East are due to make landfall in Teleria soon, and no one knows what goals they pursue.
So you can let him talk here, just listen to him talk about the Shadowkin. But we're about to see, when I show what was teased this morning where they released the kits, a lot of these models you see here, we're going to see the actual kit and the avatar that goes with them. So maybe keep that in the back of your head, and then when we go through it, you can be like, oh, this is the frog guy, and so on and so on.
To this far from home, neither light nor darkness hold sway over them. Only strength and honor can win their loyalty. As you can see, the Shadowkin are heavily inspired by the mythos of medieval Japan, along with a load more Eastern Asian influences, and our artists had a blast adjusting them all to fit into the Raid universe. You can expect nimble ninjas, sharp samurai, ominous oni, and a whole host of mythical badasses. The entire faction is going to be attacker heavy and should provide some great new options and cool.
All right, I think Yoshi's the last one here. I'm going to skip ahead, but I will say I think we're all thinking it. These are pretty awesome looking skins. I'm very excited about this faction. All right, so the next thing, we're talking about quality of life stuff, and I'm just going to let him talk here because this stuff, I think, especially the second thing, is very cool.
Of life features to make your raid experience a little easier and give you a little more control. They're not features like a big new dungeon you can play through, but we think you're going to like them. First, we're planning to introduce champion tags, which will give you the ability to mark champions in your collection. This is going to be incredibly useful if you have multiple instances of the same champion built for different game modes or roles, or just with different artifact quality. You'll be able to know which is which just by looking at the profile picture, and it's going to make team selection much faster. Another one we're working.
All right, so that one is just straight up quality of life. You know, it's just saying, you know, let's say you have 2 Skull Crushers, one's for just the arena and one's for more dungeon stuff or faction war stuff. You can just denote them with a little symbol either one way or another. That's just to save you, I guess, the 5 to 10 second hassle of, you know, checking the stats to see who's who. This is really cool. This is more than just quality of life. Changes the way you auto. It's very cool.
Which is my personal favorite, is an AI override system. This will let you predetermine the behavior of your champions.
If you guys see, this is Madame Ceres's skills. It's not a coincidence that they chose her because, yeah, she's someone who would benefit immensely from being able to customize the AI choices.
When you set a battle on auto, which is going to make it much easier to auto some of those tougher levels or to set up more complex team compositions that will work right every time. Basically, you'll get to choose which moves your champions use and when. Finally, right? Beyond all the brand new things, we're also going to build on Raid's existing content. For example, the Doom Tower is going to get 2 new bosses, each requiring a unique strategy to take down.
So you see here, he's talking about these Doom Tower bosses, and I think they look incredible. But if we go back like 2 seconds, what they actually showed was the Void Tower, which is still there, unused. Very interested if this is like a teaser or they're just putting it in because they had that in their stock video folder or something. Maybe this is eventually coming. Who the heck knows?
For example, the Doom Tower is fun to figure out. We're also going to add more dungeon levels, which will be both harder to beat and provide better rewards, which will give Raid veterans something to test their best teams against. We're also working on another set of missions. Getting the Arbiter is a big milestone in your Raid journey. It's no easy feat, but we know a lot of you have already got there, so we want to give you something new to do. These missions will incorporate new things such as the Tag Team Arena, the Doom Tower, and so on. Completing them will let you get your hands on a unique legendary champion, and you can never have enough of those.
So yeah, I think this is a great time to end. This is my favorite part of the whole video. I haven't really heard people talking so much about it. I mean, first off, this guy looks incredible. I'm feeling like he might be Shadowkin. Either Lizardmen or Shadowkin. Kind of looks like those two factions got together and had a bit of a love child. But I don't know. I don't know about you guys, but especially as me, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm a real free-to-play grinder. I've played the game in every way. Free-to-play is the way I really enjoy it now. And I love the missions. You know, the missions give you guidance within the game. They make it feel like you're actually playing a normal game where there is a beating the game. And I love the idea that, you know, we're playing this game with updates all the time, ever-changing events, characters, all this stuff. I like that the end of the game is getting pushed further and further back, so it does feel like it's a living, breathing thing. Very cool. I'm very into it. I like the video. You know, we'll see how long this actually takes. The initial roadmap from like summer 2019, like not the Doom Tower, the Void Tower was on that. And obviously that doesn't even exist. So it's hard to know the follow through. I will say lately they've been great on follow through. We'll see if this is something we see in the next couple months or the next year and a half. Anyway, this morning, we got some really cool information about the Shadowkin faction, and we actually got some kits leaked. So I thought we'd very quickly, I don't want to spend too much time, but just go through these guys, see how cool they are. I love the avatars, but look at the kits and see how strong we think some of these guys might be. So we start out with Genzin. Really like Genzin. His whole kit is kind of based around like speed and turn meter manipulation. So let's look. He's legendary, spirit affinity, attack base. All right, so probably has good multipliers. And all the new legendaries lately that are attacked, they always have good multipliers. So triple hit on the A1, each hit fills this champion's turn meter by 6%. See 4 books into damage. I'm sure this hits hard. Triple hitter, Fire Knight, has me thinking immediately. Anyway, let's go. We have a move here, books up to 75%, books up to 100%, excuse me. So it has a 100% chance of placing AoE, 100% chance of placing a big version decreased defense debuff, 2 turns, and then each crit fills this champion's turn meter by 10%. So again, more turn meter manipulation, all positives to him. So just boosting him to go faster and faster and faster. Such a cool move, this one. If you're going against like a spider or something, right? You very easily could be hitting 8 to 10 enemies. You're filling this turn meter basically all the way. Then we have a single hitter. Let's see, this books down to a 3-turn cooldown. This also 3-turn cooldown. Ignore unkillable and shield buffs. Fills this champion's turn meter by 30%. Fills it by 60% instead if the target has 50% health or less after this attack. So if that's the case, that he is a hard hitter, has good multipliers, very often this will leave them with 50% or less health. He'll get that 60% turn meter. This guy's going to be going all the time. And then on top of that, if this kills an enemy, it will reduce the cooldown both on this move and Steel Parting, the A2. This guy's going to be great. I could definitely see him in Arena. For sure, though, anyone early, mid-game, even late game, this guy will be a beast in the dungeons. You know, AoE, decreased defense, with these really hard-hitting skills, I'm sure, ignoring things like unkillable, shield, and tons of turn meter manipulation on his behalf, so he's always going turn cycle. I'm gonna go quick here, guys. Yoshi, not gonna talk too much about him because I have a whole guide coming out on him, and more on his fusion, but of course I'll go over his kit thoroughly when I talk about prepping for his fragment fusion, which is in 4 days' time now, March 16th. But very quickly, the reason I'm so excited about him, I know other people are down on him, I think this guy is going to be a beast carry for anyone in the early or mid game. If you're just trying to get through your content, get towards the end game, I mean, you've got a stun on the A1, whatever, books up to 40%. Then we've got this amazing move where you get an accuracy down and an HP burn. It books down to a 2-turn cooldown. So if you're willing to put books in this, guys, that's fantastic. But it is a random one. But I just love having extra utility, extra debuffs on the A2. But then the A3 is kind of what it's all about for me. You get big version increased attack and big version increased accuracy, AoE on all allies, 2 turns. On top of that, you have a standard 50% chance, books out to 75% chance of placing a true fear buff, so CCing all the enemies. And if, any of the enemies are under increased attack, this becomes, when booked out, to a 100% chance of that happening. So this guy's gonna be fantastic in Arena because of that. With his passive, fills this champion's turn meter by 4% each time an enemy receives a buff. So if you have this guy decently fast, he doesn't have to be the fastest in the world, then an enemy team's Arbiter or Sifi or Duchess goes, throws out 1,000,000 debuffs, this guy's getting his turn meter something like, I mean, it could be up to 48% times, you know, if every champion's getting 3 debuffs, pretty excellent. And then, so 40% turn meter boost, that's gonna pop in the hole up as long as he's decently over 200 speed in later game. And then he's gonna come in with this. And if it was a, let's say an Arbiter, where they did an AoE increase speed, increase attack, excuse me, then he's going up to 100% chance when booked of landing the True Fear CC on top of buffing your own team with the increased attack and the increased accuracy. And that wasn't enough. He's got an all battles aura of ally speed by 19%. Love this guy. I have one more legendary. I actually think I'll spend a little time with this legendary, and I'm just gonna quickly just show the avatars, the last guys. We can take time at a later date to really go through all their kits. But here we got Jintoro, another attack-based champion. By the way, I didn't mention, this is a support, so he isn't based on HP or anything. His moves are still based on attack. But then we've got Soul Drinker, A1, grants an extra turn if this attack kills an enemy, so just like Septimus, 4 books into damage. Then we've got his A2, books down to a 3-turn cooldown, attacks an enemy, steals 100% of the target's turn meter, decreases cooldown of his A3, by 1 turn if the target is immune to turn meter reduction effects. So the base standard situation for the move where he steals 100% of the target's turn meter, so good against like the Fire Knight, or Spider, anything you need to manipulate the turn meter on. But then against someone like the Dragon, you know, he obviously can't steal the turn meter because the Dragon is immune to that, or some of the Doom Tower bosses. He can come in there, and then instead reduce the cooldown on the A3, Oni's Rage, and then the A3, very cool, single hitter, decrease defense and weaken. You notice here, it just places, so there's no chance. So it's 100% chance as long as you got the accuracy to do it. And then this is a single hitter, but it will attack 5 times instead of 1 every 4th use of this skill against the same target in 1 round. So if you're against the Dragon, this guy's gonna carry you like the whole way. Good affinity for it, I'm neutral. And then, you know, once you get a couple hits in, it's gonna be a 5-hitter every once in a while. Or against the Fire Knight, you know, bad affinity, but still, as long as he's got some takiness, this is such a cool move. And anytime you're in a longer fight, so maybe some Doom Tower bosses, maybe some dungeon bosses, you know, every 4th time he's getting a quintuple hitter. And then we've got the passive, all turn meter fill effects increase by 50% when used on this champion. So this is really cool with the A2 specifically. Of course, it's cool when you have other champions, other allies, you know, giving turn meter fill to him because they're just going to go faster and faster, get his turns coming faster and faster. But here, steals 100% of the target's turn meter. So let's say you're at the Fire Knight. The Fire Knight has 50% turn meter. He steals 100% of it, so he steals 50. Because he gets a double effect, he actually gets immediately another turn. That's 100% turn meter. And then, you know, decently standard, increase ally attack in all battles, 29%. Really cool. Not so thrilling for a legendary champion. So here we go, cool support champion. I really like the avatar. You guys should take time to go through all these epics. I just don't want to talk your ear off. Here's a Void epic, very cool looking. This was the one that we saw, one of the models we saw with that huge brim tat. This was the Frog guy. This is the first model we saw in the teaser video. This guy, I'll just quickly shout, is a very cool passive. 1 attack, 50% chance of placing a big version, 5% poison debuff on the attacker for 2 turns, occurs once per hit. So any multi-hits, you can place multiple poisons on the enemy. Yeah, I think this is a good time to stop. I'll just show you really quickly. I'll scroll through while I talk. The last bit of news, the last thing we have to talk about, Countess Lix. I mean, how strange is this situation? I mean, I don't mind it. You know, if you're a spender and if you want to go out, sorry, let me just say, for anyone who doesn't know, I'll put a clip of it on screen right now, but they're having a guaranteed legendary event, but the guarantee comes with the caveat that you must exhaust 150 ancient shards. 150 ancient shards. These are going at like $40 for a pack of 25. So you need 6 of them. It's gonna be like $240 to essentially buy this champion. Of course, you get all the other things you summon along the way. But I think this is a cool idea, especially for pay-to-win players. I'm obviously not that, but if that's you, I respect it, go for it. If you're interested in this champion, by all means. However, calling this a guaranteed champion, call it a pity. It's a pity. It's not a guarantee in the sense the guarantee, when they're framing it like it's a gift. Clearly, this is not a gift. We're not being given it by any stretch of the imagination. The only giving is a singular direction, and that's $240 to $300, whatever it's gonna cost you. You're giving money to Plarium for this, you know, it's a transaction. It's not even a microtransaction at this point. This is a macro transaction. I think it's cool. I mean, if you're into it, if you have Astralon, that's her buddy. They both have passives that only exist when they're paired with the other. They're kind of buddy champs, a couple champ, whatever you want to call it. I mean, if you're into her and you have the money or you have the resource, you've been saving up ancient shards for some reason to the point where you have 150, if you're free to play with 150 ancient shards, I say go for it. I mean, this is a lot easier than a fusion. You just have to click the 10 pull 15 times. But I just think it's always strange with their marketing and their customer interactions, you know? The way they manage expectations, the way they frame things. This is not a gift, this is not a guarantee. This is a pity system. It's cool that they have it. But yeah, kind of decently long video, but I want to just give you a touch of all the news that have been coming at us. I think there's some really cool content stuff coming up. I'm really excited about the AI stuff. I'm excited for new missions. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. And for any returning viewers, you know, this is my first video ever not in the free-to-play series. So how'd I do? I mean, there were definitely moments of rambling. I was a little nervous about this one, guys. I felt like I was starting the videos all over again because I've never done a format like this. But enough about me. Hope you guys, this information was valuable. Hope my opinions weren't too boring. And hope you appreciate the content. If you do, please like and subscribe. You know, it's free to play, it's free to click. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one.
Fastidious.